Any advice for Devin Haney? He's fighting in his hometown. I think it's close, Australia and Auckland or whatever. And
his dad didn't get to go. A lot of his teammates
that's a big blow,
didn't
man.
get to go, but you know, he just needs God in his corner and his heart, and you know, everything's willpower. So, but Camboso, he's an amazing fighter as well. You can't underestimate him as well. You know,
He comes from the Manny Pacquiao lineage.
yeah, you know, and he believes in Jesus Christ, and so do I. So, you know, his best man wins.
Yeah. Is Devin gonna have to do a little extra because he's over there? Because remember the Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn fight?
Oh yeah, they stole this fight over there too,
He pretty much stopped them in the 9th, and they let it go, and they still gave one the decision. It's just like, you know, it's tricky. So what do you think?
It is, of course, going to fight in someone's hometown. You have to beat them straight. You know, you have to beat them good. And
does he have to hurt him or something like that, or just is the shutout gonna be enough if he shuts him out? Let's say he shuts him out. Is that enough?
I don't know. It all depends on the judges. You know, we all are critics in boxing. Boxing has the worst. Yeah, boxing has the worst critics, bro. But you know that's why people want to win by knockouts. So there's no judges. There's no critic fucking saying stuff and all that. But it's crazy, man. Like I said, anything is possible.
Kambosos Haney, who's your pick and why?
Look, I think George wins. He's I don't know. He's at his peak, and I think he's ready, mentally ready. But at the same time, Devin looks super ready. And Devin's sharp as. I think what will play a part will be the crowd. That's a big part, and Devin even hasn't left yet to Australia. And from experience, coming to America, it takes a bit to adapt. But coming back home is where it's harder because you're coming into the future, and just the weather, everything's different. The air, everything from America to Australia. So I think if I was Devin, I would have left a bit earlier, adapted to everything. It's not just time zones, but it's again all that. And I think that's what's going to be hard. And the fight's going to be during the day, you know. So it's completely out of your comfort zone, and all these factors are going to play a part, I believe.
You think George, you know, kind of outboxes Haney and surprises us with his speed again, or he makes it a dogfight and kind of wins it that way?
I think he's going to have to be a dog in this fight because I feel like or else Haney will just box him.
How pumped are you?
George is good. He's got that dog inside him, so that's what's going to make it interesting.
Do you think the speed is going to be about even, or will Haney actually be faster than George?
I think he's way faster. Yeah, I mean George is kind of fast, but the range that Devin gonna come off of, I think it's gonna look way faster.
Yeah, talking about the range, like he likes to keep that lead left hand low.
Yeah.
And do you think that'll cost him with the range and the speed of Dev?
I think he been working on bringing it up a lot. So I think he knows the balance between keeping it up and bringing it down. So I think he knows when he should have it down and up.
So you think he'll have it picked up more than he did for Tszyu?
Yeah.
And how is Devin, looking in sparring? Is he looking even stronger than he did in previous camps?
I think the biggest aspect of Devin is now that he's starting to sit down. So like people say he don't have power, but I just feel like he's just so much of a boxer that he never had to really sit down and throw his punches. I feel like now Devin is sitting down, and he has a nutritionist. His weight not going to be a factor. So I think he's really going to look better than usual.
Yeah, you think, and I asked Devin and Bill this too, you think he doesn't just win, but he actually hurts Kambosos?
Yeah, I think if it go as planned, like my guess, I think late round stoppage. But if not, he outboxes him easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was saying shutout.
Yeah, shutout.
How do you see his fight going with Kambosos?
Kambosos is definitely not an easy fight. I think everyone knows that. But Devin is Devin, and I think he'll come out victorious.
Do you think there's a chance he surprises people and hurts Kambosos in this fight?
Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. You'd be surprising some people, but you definitely wouldn't be surprising me. I mean, I know what Devin's capable of, and he's just a tactician, just masterful. You don't get a lot of fighters like that. He's like Shakur Stevenson, where his IQ is just through the roof, and you see that every time he fights.
Yeah, and I asked that, to get technical with it for a second. Diaz and Linares, he kind of handcuffed them a little bit with the speed, like they kept the guard up high. But Kambosos likes to keep his left low, in and out. And against a guy who can match his speed, do you think he can get caught keeping that left hand low and trying?
Anyone can get caught. I mean, it's boxing, so yeah, you got to keep your hands up. With Devin, even when your hands up, he can catch you with stuff because he's just that quick. But he's also just that smart. So it'll be a fun fight to watch. I think I'm more excited for that fight than any other fight out there right now.
Why is that? Just
for the purpose of I know Devin and his family. I know that he's done a lot to get to this point, and I just think it's a great fight. Kambosos is an amazing fighter. So I truly think it'll be an entertaining fight, which is more important than anything else.
You got I know you picked Devin. Final prediction: does he win 8-4, something like that, 9-3, or a stoppage?
I want to say 9-3 or more, because Devin is he's a tactician, and yeah, 9-3 or more, Devin.
Honestly, I think the fight could go either way. But if I had to pick one person, I'm friends with both guys, so please don't get mad at me, guys. But if Devin can manage the Australian crowd well, I think Devin pulls it off. I'm sorry, George. I love you both. Please don't shoot me.
Getting on to Kambosos versus Haney, it's great insight for these promoters to see what such a big show. You want to bring a big show down here in October, November yourself. Your thoughts on everything that went down yesterday? There was a lot of talk. Kambosos calling him a rat, Haney saying, "What the hell are you on about?" Did you get to see much of it?
Yeah, I watched all of it. It's great for Australian boxing, man. It's great for boxing in general. Haney, biggest name in boxing. Kambosos, biggest name in boxing, going head to head. Man, it's exciting. I think George is going to go out there and shock the world yet again. But he's got a tough fight ahead of him. Haney's been in there with some of the best and beaten some of the best, and his boxing IQ is very high. And I'm just looking forward to it. But I think Georgie is going to come in with another W. He's going to take all 4 belts.
Your thoughts on too for George as well? The training camp has been absolutely phenomenal. What does George have to do different to beat Devin Haney, or the fighter that you saw? I know he was victorious against Teofimo Lopez. What does George need to be wary of when he fights Devin Haney?
Look, Haney, from what I've seen, is very patient. He picks his shots tremendously. But I think the same game plan kind of beats Haney. That rushing him, that aggression in the heart. Just keep walking forward. I think the same style that he fought Teofimo is probably going to win the same for Haney against him. So, good, if he brings his right mindset, he stays switched on and composed, I think he stops in late rounds.
I feel like people overlooking George at times, because George has, in his biggest moments, he has squeezed it out. Because I think his last 3 fights, I do my research, I think his last 2 fights were all split decisions.
Yeah.
But he did just what he had to do to get that decision. Still a win's a win. But like I said, Devin, young, hungry. I think at times his power is maybe overrated. I'm not saying he has to be a knockout artist, but I think he has respectable power where he gets his opponent's attention, where they start to take less risk of going in there with it.
Underrated.
Yeah, definitely underrated. I feel like they hold back. Because you could say the same thing about the great Floyd Mayweather. Floyd wasn't, a knockout artist, but Floyd had respectable power where, he'll get your attention or freeze you in your tracks and keep you from, want to throw or jump in that fire. So I think Devin is maybe, in that same sentence in terms of having underrated, underrated power.
The Kambosos Haney fight being announced with the judges, how they were with the Pacquiao Horn fight. What do you think Devin has to do, in terms of the judges? Should he be wary?
What you saying, the Pacquiao Horn fight?
No, the Kambosos Haney fight.
I thought Horn. Honest to God, truth. Listen, man. I thought that Horn did enough to eke it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. The fight, he won the. Listen, Pacquiao won the boxing match.
Oh no.
He landed the better punches. But as far as the way it looked, are you seeing Horn?
You beat the shit out of him.
Man,
You almost stopped him in the 9. You almost stopped him in the 9.
You're tripping, dog.
That
was the only round, though.
Tim, that actually cost Teddy Atlas's job.
No, that didn't
cost
cause
Teddy
him. That
Atlas's
didn't
job
cause him.
because Teddy went on that
Stop,
epic
man.
rant.
Stop it. I see where you're reaching, man. Stop.
It's your goal right there, Tim. How do you see the Kambosos and Devin Haney fight? Do you think that Devin has to change up his plan because of maybe he's the foreigner going to Australia, might be hometown favoritism there? Do you think that's a play?
Man, he can't worry about that.
Yeah.
He can't be worrying about that, bro. At the end of the day, you got to go in there and fight your fight. I think that Haney has enough skill and ability to beat a fighter like Kambosos, but I think it's going to be tough. And I know I said that, it's going to be tough for the judges a whole bit, but we as fighters, we can't be thinking about that, honestly. You can't. He signed the contract. He's willing to go and do it there, and you just got to deal with it. But at the end of the day, I just think that Haney just got to box. He got to box, not stand there. If he just boxes for 12 rounds, he should be able to basically whitewash, I believe. Whitewash him, man. Seriously. Haney has better feet. He's longer. He got a longer jab. It's when he sits still. That's the problem that I have. When he sits still and he goes up into that, and he goes into that little that shell, that Philly shell, bro, and he gets hit with right hands. I worry about that, bro. I worry about that, especially against Camboso. Yeah, that too. But Camboso is not the biggest puncher. He was able to put down Lopez, Tszyu, but he's different, man. Camboso is different now. Explosive. I did study him. I can tell you right now what he's really good at. His timing and his footwork. Man. His timing and his footwork. No doubt. Hey, no, I gotta go see the family real quick, man. Give me 1 second. Bye.
All right, Tim, let's continue. You were saying that Kambosos underrated timing.
No, his timing, man, and his footwork. Honestly, he moves well backwards. He does, and then he explodes. But really good punch placement as well. He can punch in between, go to the body. He's tough, man. He does keep that left hand low too, so he's available for the right hand too. But he'll allow you to throw the right hand, and he'll try to slip and try to counter it. But really good timing, punch placement. He can press forward too, and be aggressive. But if you watch the fight with him and Lopez, he allowed him to come. He allowed Lopez to come, and he fought mostly off the back foot. It was amazing. I was like, wow, I didn't know he could fight off the back foot like that. I thought he was coming forward when he was fighting. So, anyways,
men building them. They're chasing greatness, and they're chasing him being the top guy in their minds with holding the hardware. At the end of the day, Tank has been the biggest attraction without all of that. You know what I'm saying? And to answer your question, do I think he beats Kambosos? Yes, I do. Yes, I do think that he has every tool there is to be successful and come out a winner in that fight, in the ring. But the question is going to be is that do they give him the fight? That's what it's going to come down to. Devin has tremendous amount of skills, and again, matching up with Kambosos. And see, this is the funny thing is that nobody was fucking talking about George prior to the Tszyu fight.
Get knocked out.
This is what I'm saying. This is why. Not all, but a lot of these guys are fucking fake in the media. Fucking fake. It's like, oh, you scared of this guy? It's like, now hold up. Y'all was talking about Tszyu before. Y'all was talking about a guy who with a loudmouth father was just talking nonsense. And then he got his ass whooped. And then now you're on to the next guy.
I love that fight, man. It's not an easy fight for either guy. Of course, while I'd like to see Devin Haney outbox Kambosos, it definitely seemed in the fight with Lopez. He has a way of getting you off of your rhythm and taking that distance away from you and not allowing you to, find your range, So I love that fight for a number of reasons. But that after Devin Haney fought Jojo Diaz, I said, please give us Kambosos versus Haney, and we got it.
Is there any concerns for being in Australia? I know I've heard some people saying that hometown,
For me, no. I would go anywhere to fight anybody if the money was right and the fight was right. You know what I mean? So you definitely salute Devin Haney for taking that on, understanding that he's literally going to this guy's land to get the job done. With that being said, I personally don't feel like has anything to worry about. Of course, in that respect, I'm very naive saying that. But we keep our fingers crossed, hope that the right people are there to do the right job.